%85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping. Hello people, welcome back to another Big Steve show. We've got loads and loads to get into. City are back, game on Sunday, Gvardiol, Bernardo, City team, transfers, loads and loads of stuff to get into. As always, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already. Make sure you subscribe to City Extra and Big Steve MC on YouTube and Instagram. I keep it locked in. Steve, my man, how are we doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Glad there's a little bit of football back at weekend to watch and that. So yeah, starting to see the videos of the lads training and stuff. So it's getting going again, isn't it?
You excited?
Yeah. No, listen, I thought I'd be glad of the break, but after about 3 days, you find yourself switching back onto Man City mode and start looking at YouTube videos and watching Rodri and all that again. So yeah, it's good to get back into it. I think this season's going to be tough. I think there's a lot of teams strengthened well. And I just think we've got to start the season well. We notoriously start it a little bit slow. I think one of these seasons we're going to start really, really well. And just got a feeling it might be this one.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that, actually, because me and Hugh did a stream this morning, yeah. And I've been saying I think it's really important that City get off to a good start this year. We've got that World Cup in December. And if you look at when Chelsea won it and Liverpool won it, because you missed like 2 weeks of Premier League football at a busy period in December, you come back with like 4 games in hand. Now, I know that you win your games in hand, it's fine. But if City do get off to a slow start, they go to Saudi Arabia, 7 or 8 points behind. And then you miss 3 or 4 games, you could be 15, 16 points behind that. And I know, even though you've got games in hand, that's a big, big gap to sort of close down. So I agree, mate. I think that hopefully we do get off to a good start, but I actually think it's really important that City dial in. And you might look at this pre-season and think that maybe City have identified that themselves, because if you remember last year, obviously we did a watch along together, didn't we? And the pre-season last year just seemed to be a bit of a shambles, to be honest. But you look at this year. You know, they got Yokohama, who are second in the Japan League. They got Atletico Madrid. They got Bayern Munich, and then they got Arsenal in the Community Shield. It's serious. So hopefully we'll be ready, for that Burnley game.
No, yeah, definitely. I think so. But yeah, last season was a bit of a washout. The pre-season, it wasn't the best, and we didn't look too prepared, in my opinion. But we played a lot of football last year. I think the lads will be itching to get going. I think the new formation that we carried on through last year, we know full-backs and centre-backs makes us a lot harder to beat. I think that you'll find us being a lot more efficient. That's the word I'm going to use, and efficient and getting the job done. So it might not be 3, 4, 5s and people looking at us swarming all over everyone. I think we just got to be relaxed with it, a little bit more dogged and get the job done. But I think a good start's important. I think we've got to be in and around it. Arsenal flew away with it last year, and we were panicking a bit, saying, you know, we need to keep hold of the coattails, make sure they don't go too far ahead. And luckily we did. And then when the time was right to turn it on, we turned it on. So, yeah, one of these seasons we're going to start fast, and I think we're going to get our noses in front by a bit. And if we can do that this season, especially with what's been happening around, everyone strengthening, it'd be great.
Yeah, I did a stream a couple of days ago. I can't remember what stream it was, who was on it, but yeah, someone said that City are due a league where they just walk away with it. You know, with the way we've been playing over the last couple of years, and we've not really had that for a long time. You have to go back to when we pipped United, when United finished second under Mourinho. What was that, like 19 points or whatever it was? You know, other than that, we've never really walked away with it. In fact, that is the only time we have walked away with it. Every time we've won the league, it's been close, hasn't it? So City are kind of due it, but we have to start well. You know, you look at Arsenal. Who knows what Arsenal are going to do next year? Are they going to fight again for the league? Who knows? Liverpool are going to be up there. And then, you know, there's always a team that's up there you don't expect, you know, people writing off Chelsea. You know, they've got a decent squad with a good manager. Who knows where they could be? Spurs keep Kane. Anything's possible. You don't really know what's going on there. So we just have to get off to a good start. You know, focus on our business. And then obviously when we go to Saudi in December for the Club World Cup, hopefully we're in touching distance. So when we get back, we're not miles behind, because you don't want to be putting that pressure on in January, February, when you've got FA Cup starts, you've got Carabao Cup semi-finals, you know, knockout round of the Champions League starts in like February, March time. So it's important to get off to a good start. But just talk about the pre-season. We spoke a little bit about it this morning. What's your take on sort of youngster policy in this pre-season? How much, you know, with the likes of McAtee, Oscar Bob, are we realistically here trying to work out whether these guys are good enough, or are we just trying to integrate them in, give them a couple minutes? Like, what is the actual aim when we're playing these players for you? Is it to see if they're good enough?
Well, I'm surprised he didn't take more youngsters with us, to be honest. I am surprised with that, but whether he's just confident in McAtee and Bob and thinking they've trained with it. Obviously, McAtee's been out on loan, but Bob's been in and around the first team training set up all season. But whether he's just going to keep a nice closed circle, because sometimes in these pre-season games you play players you know are never ever going to play. So you look at him and you think, why is he there? Because he's never getting in the team. The fact that he's only brought a couple of them over makes me think that he does believe in them too. Yeah. McAtee is always going to divide opinion. You know, we know he's a good player. We know he can probably play in the Premier League, but is he good enough for Man City? That's the problem. Look at Carlos Borges and all them who people have been raving about they're getting sold because they're not good enough for us. And yeah, I don't know. The lack of transfer activity obviously gets everyone panicking. Everyone's thinking, oh, you've lost Gundo, you've lost Mahrez, you're going to lose this, you're going to lose that. City will have it all under control. We're not stupid. We've just won a treble. You know, the squad's decent. We've got players that can integrate in many different positions, systems. Foden can come in the middle, go on the left, go on the right. Bernardo can go on the left, go on the right, go at left back. So there's all sorts of things we can do. When you actually write the squad down and look at it on paper, it isn't that bad. You know what I mean? There's players last year sat on the bench. Kyle Walker didn't play near the end of the season. Riyad didn't play near the end of the season. Laporte didn't play near the end of the season. So they were just on the bench, but they're quality players that can come in, fill in when people are not playing. You know, if we go in the season a little bit, you know, short, these players will have to step up. You know what I mean? So I don't know what inside Pep's mind. You know, he's got something in his head, and I'm sure we just got to roll with it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to see McAtee and Oscar Bob in the first team. McAtee especially because he's obviously already had that first team experience at Sheffield United and done well. And, you know, I think that he is a real sort of Pep player. You know, he's very good on the ball, very calm on the ball. And that's obviously what Pep likes. And, you know, there are shouts for him to potentially be the fourth or fifth choice midfielder for Manchester City.
He didn't take Robertson with him, did he?
No, Robertson's not there. No.
And I was so shocked with that because I thought with Gundogan going, I thought a little midfield player there, keep the ball nice in the middle, ticking over. He could show us all.
Yeah.
But I think these plans at City, they know what they're doing. You know, we don't make reactionary decisions. It's not like, oh, Gundogan's just all of a sudden decided to go. Do you know what I mean? The thing is, we'll always be one step ahead, and obviously fans get frustrated because of lack of activity and transfers, and they look at other people doing things. The key is don't look at other people. We're the champions. We won the treble because we're the top dogs at everything. So don't look at what Arsenal's doing, because last season they signed Zinchenko, Jesus, all these players, Ben White, and everyone said, oh, they're going to win the league, and City's dropped a bollock, and we won the treble. So just relax, man. Relax. We've not kicked a ball in pre-season yet. And I'm sure by the time the Charity Shield comes round, we'll be ready to go.
Yeah. Big up to Mohammed. Says we don't have the squad depth to win it dominantly. So maybe Mohammed's predicting another close race. Big up to Edward as well. Says, yes, LB and Big Steve. We will smash it next season. Big up, Edward. Bit of a contrast in super chats, that, innit? You know, this guy is like, no, we don't have the squad depth to win it dominantly. And then Edward's like, yeah, we're going to smash it. And then big up to Italian Stallion. Says, yes, Big Steve. Remember your bombazzo on Haaland last summer. Any bombazzos from your side from the transfer window? Your sources, what are they telling you? If anything, Gvardiol or the Bernardo extension. You hearing anything, Steve?
Yeah, back.
Yeah. Can you see the super chat? People wants to know what your sources are saying. Have you got any news on Haaland or anything on Bernardo Silva?
All I got told last week was Bernardo was staying. I haven't heard anything about a contract. All I got told was he was staying. And then on Gvardiol, apparently the deals was stalling because of Gvardiol. Gvardiol announced he leaked the news basically. Leipzig thought City leaked it. It wasn't City who leaked it. It was Gvardiol that leaked it. It caused an issue. Leipzig sort of didn't like that. And apparently Leipzig changed the goalpost on the deal, wanted a little bit more money up front, and then City were like, no, you know what City are like. So at the minute, there's a loggerheads between the two clubs over the fee and what they pay up front. And I think what I've been told is that Gvardiol and his agent are trying to smooth everything out and get the deal done. So it happens, you know, it happens. It's happened before. It's happened with Alexis Sanchez. It's happened with Cucurella. It's happened with Harry Maguire and Fred and things like that down the line when apparently we've gone in and we're looking around and the goalposts get changed, and City will walk away from a deal if it's not right. And that's what you've got to understand. You know what I mean? You only have to look back at the documentary with Tixie when they were going to sign Van Dijk. Yeah. And they came in and said the price. And then the chairman said, it's a joke. You know what I mean? So listen, there's a reason why we're winning everything. And there's a reason why this football club goes from strength to strength every year. And it's not for overpaying and getting bullied in the transfer market. We don't do it. We do the opposite. If we get bullied in the transfer market, we'd have gone out and signed Maguire or Koulibaly and then not ended up with Ruben Diaz. So, you know, we'd have gone and done a knee-jerk reaction and bought a number 10, number 9 striker and probably not signed Erling Haaland. So people just need to relax. If Gvardiol, you know, is coming, he'll come and they'll make it happen. But, you know, these things take time. They're not.
I think it'll get done. And yeah, well, because the fee, I think the fee's chilling. I think, you know, a couple of people are saying that it's like you just said there. Apparently, it's something to do with the structure of the actual payment. Maybe have changed. Maybe they are asking for a little bit more up front. But I'm pretty confident City will get this over the line. And one of the reasons is because he's fucking mint, mate. You know what I mean? He's 21 years old. He's got everything you need in a defender for Pep Guardiola. You know what I mean? Great in the air, great pace, strong, physically strong, good on the ball. And he's got loads of time to develop, being only 21 years old. So I think actually, you know, it's crazy to say, but I don't think £86 million is a completely ridiculous fee, because if you have him for 10, 15 years, you'll be looking back at that in a decade and going, because I guarantee you, you know, with football inflation, it'll only keep on going upwards. So I think it will get done. Clearly, Leipzig are a little bit miffed off. And I'd imagine that City are probably a little bit frustrated, because obviously if City thought that they had the deal over the line, obviously Gvardiol or his agent or whatever is going to leak it, and now it's not done because Leipzig are annoyed. City are probably very frustrated now as well. So look, listen, Gvardiol, his agent, whoever it was, clearly he's jumped the gun a little bit too soon. Give Fabrizio Romano the information. He's put the information out there in good faith, because that's what he's been told. And then boom, you know what I mean? Both clubs are now a little bit frustrated. Give it over the weekend. Let both set of directors have a bit of a rest, and I'm sure they get over it. What do you make of Gvardiol though? Because obviously we did play against Leipzig in the Champions League. He scored against us. Did he scored that header? Do you like the look of him? Do you think he's an upgrade on Laporte?
I think Laporte's a very good player, and I think Laporte's very unlucky not to be playing. But he's different to Laporte. I think he's better. He can play left back, I think, better than Laporte. I think he's big, he's strong, and he's aggressive. I think he's an ideal Premier League centre-back, and he's young.
I agree.
I think he's got a mistake in him. I think in Leipzig, City didn't go gung-ho in Leipzig, so he controlled Haaland. Well, he thought he did. And then when we took him back to the Etihad, he was lost. He was all over the place. Haaland ran him ragged, dragged him all over the place. So
I forgot about that.
but as if when he's playing alongside Ruben Diaz, he can only get better. Akanji, again, with Diaz, he's a better player. You know, Ruben's very good at what he does. And I think if you're bringing in Gvardiol at 21-year-old to play with Ruben Diaz in that back four, I think he's only going to get better. And to play under Pep Guardiola and this City side, the way we're playing now, no, he's going to be a good signing. That's what I mean. But you've got to pay the premium. With the European champions, these teams, they know we've got the money. They know they're going to play hardball. So these things take time. But yeah, I think we get it over the line. It's an exciting signing for us. Yeah,
no, I completely agree. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already, man. Let's get those likes past 200. 30 people needed for the 200 likes. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, as well as Big Steve MCFC and the Instagram Big Steve MCFC as well, man. Big up to Foden, a GOAT with a 21 month. Says for a winger, I could see Serge Gnabry, but I'd love Shirky or Elise. Gvardiol is happening. Just have the patience. What's your thoughts on a winger, Steve? Because Mahrez, you know, he's gone. You know what I mean? That's a sad situation. In fact, first of all, what do you make of Mahrez leaving?
Listen, Riyad's never done us any harm. He's brilliant. He's come in. He's done well. You know, he's had some memorable moments at City. Scored some great goals. I just think he was unlucky not to play a lot of the games last season. I think 30-odd million at 32-year-old's good money. He's had his head turned by Saudi Arabia. He's just won a treble. He's probably looking at his options and thinking, you know what? I could have a nice lifestyle out in Saudi, triple my wages. I've won everything there is to win in England. I've won the Champions League. His stock's high. So I don't blame Riyad for going. And it might be the time for City to just freshen it up a little bit over there. I think Bernardo can play there. I think Foden can play there. I think Alvarez can play there. And with the way City have changed it, with the wingers not really going for pace and power and beating a man and crossing it, more keeping the ball, I think we're all right over there. I do. I know what people are saying, but we lost Raheem Sterling and everyone said we needed pace. We got no pace. And we didn't buy any pace and we won the treble. So it's all out of the system. I don't think we're going to get a pacey winger. I think he'd rather have a winger that can keep the ball and keep it moving. I don't think he wants pace in that on the flanks. So yeah, I think we're all right over there. Don't be surprised if he doesn't buy one or he doesn't get someone really, really young, 18, 19 or so.
So if Mahrez leaves, would you not be going into the market then and getting a replacement? Do you think we have enough with Bernardo and Foden and maybe Oscar Bob? All right, so you're on that as well, because Martin's on that as well. Martin likes the Alvarez right wing. I ain't a fan of that one, me, but Martin is a big fan of Alvarez right wing. What, you think he can do that as well?
I just think it's an option, but I think Bernardo could probably play out there more regular, because I don't see Bernardo going in the middle with De Bruyne. I think it's going to be Rodri, De Bruyne and Foden. I think Kovacic might come in every now and then. Foden could go out wide, or it could be Foden on the wing, and this Foden in the middle thing could be a myth. Could be Foden, Grealish, Haaland, same as the derby. You've seen what we did to Man United with that front three. That could be the front three starts with Bernardo, could be in the middle. So it could be Bernardo, De Bruyne, Rodri, Foden, Grealish, Haaland. Think about that. That's insane.
Yeah, insane. It is mad. It is mad. I don't know what Foden's going to be doing this year, because if Mahrez does leave, basically I want Foden to be playing every single game. So if Mahrez leaves, that right wing spot could just be Foden's, but
Yeah.
I also want to see Foden in the midfield because that's his natural position. But if he has to have one more year there or 2 more years before Kev gets off or whatever, then maybe that's the case. But yeah, I think it's a big season for Foden. You know, it's funny actually because last year was probably, on a personal note, in terms of on the pitch, probably not one of his best seasons in the last 2 or 3. But obviously come out with a treble. He had a nasty injury, didn't he, to his ankle, which nobody knew about until he come out, didn't he, and said, "Oh yeah, the reason I've not been that great recently is because of my ankle injury." In and out the team, competing for places, but. Yeah, I mean, if there's less players in the squad, obviously he's going to get more games. And yeah, big year for Foden, isn't it? I think it's a really this is the year for me that he sort of. I know he's already broke through in that, but this is the year where it's like, nah, Foden's got to play every single game. I think this could be the year.
I just think we need someone in the middle. The pressure's on De Bruyne all the time to find Haaland.
Agreed.
Gundogan, when you watch the end of season reviews and you watch the games, look how many times Gundogan threaded the ball through to Haaland. He did it a few times, so we're going to miss that. So we need somebody in there who can do that, take the pressure off Kev. You've got a Phil Foden and a Kevin De Bruyne midfield. There's a lot of energy and a lot of skill in that midfield and a lot of great work, and that's what we need in there. And but look, these people who are panicking about City saying, "Oh, we ain't got depth and all that." Look at the squad. Write the squad down on paper and look at it. Look where everyone can play. Ake left back, Gvardiol if he comes in at left back. Akanji left back, Akanji right back, Stones right back. All of them can play in centre back. Stones can play midfield. Rico Lewis can play right back. Rodri, Kovacic, Bernardo, Foden, De Bruyne, all in the middle. Grealish can go in the middle if he has to. Cole Palmer on the left, Foden on the left, Foden on the right, Bernardo on the right, Haaland up front, Alvarez just behind. The thing is with the City squad, no one's rigid. They're all fluid. They can go wherever they need to go and get the job done. And that's what Pep Guardiola wants. So I'm not panicking. 1 or 2 additions, Gvardiol, Kovacic, maybe one surprise. I think we're good to go, mate.
Yeah. Big up Gregorius says, I have faith in Pep and Tiki. Big up Greg. Michael says, I would prefer Foden in the midfield, but I know if he's required to play right wing, he'll still cook. I agree with that. John, I don't know if John agrees. I think John disagrees. He says, we aren't all right. Bernardo is the Gundogan replacement. So I guess
Phillips. Calvin's in there as well.
Yeah. I guess John wants us to sign a winger then. If he thinks Bernardo is Gundogan replacement, then we'll probably need a winger if that's what you're saying. And then Recep says, Pep thanks Messi because he made Gvardiol's value 20 million euros cheaper. Messi owned Prime Ramos, who is Gvardiol for him, 36 and still balling. Big up to Recep for the super chat there. No, I mean, the squad thing is something that, you know, a lot of people have different opinions on the squad. I think if, obviously, Mahrez is going, I still think I'd like one more player. I think Valverde would be a great option because he can play midfield and right wing. You know what I mean? It gives you that balance, and I think Pep likes that. But I would be looking for one more, especially if Cole Palmer leaves as well. If Cole Palmer goes to Brighton, which is the latest rumours that Brighton really want Cole Palmer, whether it be on loan or a sale.
And don't forget, we've got Cancelo there. Cancelo can play right back. He can play right wing.
Is he staying though? I don't know if he's going to stay, man. Do
you know what I think? I think he's come back with his tail between his legs and realised the grass ain't greener on the other side.
Surprise me.
And if he's come back and realised what's happening, but I don't think we play that system anymore. I don't think we play that Cancelo system unless Pep says to him, right, I'm going to play you right wing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Right wing.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't surprise me if Cancelo comes back like that because the facts are, you know what I mean? He thought he was Billy Big Bollocks, didn't he, in January? Thinking, I'll throw the ball at the Pep or call him a dick or whatever happened in training. Something happened in training. They'll deny it till the cows come home, but you don't just get absolutely shipped out like that unless something has happened. He's gone to Bayern Munich. He said he wanted Tuchel to win him the Champions League. They almost blew the league. And then, they got knocked out of the quarterfinals of the Champions League again, and Bayern Munich don't want him. So, and then he's looked at City winning the treble. He could have won.
He's not for me. He's not for me. I think he's burned his bridges. I think we was a miles better team and a miles better harmony in the squad when he wasn't there. I think Bernardo Silva improved when he wasn't there because he was together with him all the time. I think he improved, and I think City will know that. And if he is really a bad apple and upsets the apple cart, I think they'll get rid of him. But you look at the players we're talking about, there's a lot of money there. Laporte can get good money for Laporte, good money for Cancelo. This is why the Gvardiol deal, it can't be about financials. Someone's upset someone and something needs ironing out. And I think it'll get done over the weekend, and we'll start to get him out on the plane, out there, and get some games under his belt. But that's, I think that'll happen next week.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Cancelo. I agree. First of all, I don't think we play. I think you're right. I don't think we'll play the system that fits. I think we'll go to that sort of back three situation with Ake or Gvardiol, Diaz and Stones, or Kanji. Stones goes into the middle. In that case, where's Cancelo going to play? He ain't going to play unless you say he plays on the wing, which I guess, to be fair, he's got the quality to do that. But the problem that I have with him, Steve, is that this team at the moment, the way that they play towards the end of the season is sometimes you'll be on the bench for a couple of weeks, you know what I mean? Yeah. While Pep's doing something.
Look at Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker had to take it on the chin.
Exactly. And you're not going to be happy. No one's going to be happy. They want to play. You know what I mean? Mahrez wanted to play. No problems. Get it. You know what I mean? You might have a little sulk now and again, but the facts are, when you're on the bench, you still got to support your teammates and you got to be giving it 100%. And can you trust him? So if he's on the bench for a couple of games, and they might be big games, it might be United, you know what I mean? Liverpool, Champions League. Do you trust him to come into training the next day with a smile on his face saying, come on, lads, let's go again? That's the problem, because that's why we won so much last year, is because as soon as that FFP thing happened and he went, the team was united. The whole club was united. Everyone was pulling in the same direction. So look, let's not completely rule it off. Maybe he's come back as a changed man. Hopefully he is. Hopefully he's got a little bit of a smack of realization that it's not all about him, and actually we can survive quite well without him. And, I'd love nothing more than a remontada, but I just don't see it happening. I want to speak about Calvin Phillips. Before we do, big up to Manscaped again for sponsoring today's stream. Guys, check this out. 85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code Xtra20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping. That's it, guys. Go get yourself the Manscaped Performance Package. All the details are in the description. Right, okay. You love that advert, don't you, Steve?
Love it, mate. Love it.
Right, True Dogs comes in with the super chat. Says Phillips is like a new signing since he barely played last year. Let's not sleep on how good Kovacic will be for us. He will take the pressure off KDB from True Dogs. I want to focus on that first part of the super chat. Big up for the donation. True Dogs. Calvin Phillips, it's a massive, massive year for him. That last year couldn't have gone any worse. He played in that friendly, that weirdly timed friendly in Barcelona, got injured, and then that was it then. You know what I mean? If you look back, that was the moment that his season was basically over. Could never get back into the team. I think he probably lost trust from Pep Guardiola. However, he's come back into training pre-season a couple of days earlier than everybody else, which is what he should have done in the World Cup, but we'll forget about that and move on. He's come back into training now. He seems like he has the desire. He seems like he's got everything off his chest. He's been doing these interviews with BBC Radio Yorkshire and that, talking about his year. He's done the documentary and that. He seems to have got everything off his chest now. And as True Dog said, it's like a new signing. This is a big year for him. And he's going to be playing a couple of these pre-season games, no doubt. He's got to impress, hasn't he?
Yeah, I actually bumped into him last Friday. I was at City in the training ground, and in between filming, I walked across the car park, and he pulled in. So he got out, and I was having a good chat to him, and he looked really well, very positive. Said he'd been in early, been training, just couldn't wait to get the season started. But listen, I spoke to him at the players' party, and the guy, he's such a nice guy and a humble guy. I think he put an awful lot of pressure on himself. I think I think it built up on him. We're human beings at the end of the day. And I think if he just relaxed and realised how good he was, and realised that he wasn't, I think he thought he wasn't good enough to be there. And I think he's realised now he is. And I think pre-season under his belt, I think he got injured at the wrong time. He said in the interview that Pep said to him, all I want from you is don't get injured. And he got injured. So every time I think he thought he was getting a bit of a rhythm, then the World Cup kicked in, he come back, he was overweight, all that nonsense, and it didn't quite get going for him. There's no excuses for Calvin. You know, Jack Grealish came with the pressure. Jack Grealish had a season where he wasn't 100%, you know, the best Jack Grealish. The City fans will always give you a season, you know that. We always back our own. We never got on his back. And I don't think there's any Manchester City fans out there that don't wish Calvin Phillips well. And I think if he can get a good, steady pre-season under his belt, it could be like a new signing. And me, for one, I'm rooting for the guy. And I really want him to do well. And like you say, he was playing at the tournament, the Euros. He was playing in a midfield with Declan Rice. I think he plays better in a double pivot, if I'm being honest. The Rodri role is so hard. You're the main man, and everything goes through you. The balls get zipped at you 100 mile an hour. Rodri, without even thinking about it, he zips it off and he moves. He turns and he moves. Calvin's taking 1, 2, 3 touches, and everything's going backwards because he wants to be safe. He don't want to do any mistakes and that. But with the confidence in the pre-season, with it playing with Rodri over a year, I think he'll get there. And like you say, this is the make or break season for Calvin Phillips. He knows that in his own head, and I just hope he can turn it on.
Yeah, no, 100%. He needs to, first of all, Pep will say it again, he just needs to stay fit, because Rodri cannot play the same amount of games this season as he played last season. I'm getting seriously worried for that guy. So, you know, Phillips is in like a weird position. It's like a good position, but a bad position, because it's not like Grealish, where he'll be starting loads of games and he has to perform, and he'll be the guy. If we don't win, you'll look at and go, "Well, it's his fault we don't win." That's not going to happen. But what is going to happen is we'll call upon him at certain times in the season, and we'll just
70 minutes. To perform. 70 minutes. Man City's winning 2-1. Pep Gvardiol does not trust Calvin to come on and see that game out. That is the problem. Fernandinho, the season before, 70 minutes, Rodri's off, Fernandinho's on, sees the game out, 20 minutes, Man City win 2-1. That's a level of trust where Calvin has to get Pep. Pep has to know that if he takes Rodri off on 70 minutes, the performance level is not dropping, because he's bringing the energy, he's bringing the power, he's rattling people when he needs to rattle them, he's pulling them down when he needs to pull them down, and Man City get the win. I don't think Pep believed that Calvin had that in the locker last season, and that's the difference. And that's why you couldn't play him. There was games where you thought, come on, he's got to bring Calvin on and trust him. And because if he brings him on and City lose a goal and we lose the title and it's Calvin Phillips' mistake, fucking hell, no one will ever forgive him. So Pep's got that in mind as well. But this season, no excuses. Calvin's got to go and say, no, trust in me. Extra training sessions on the pitch. When he's finished training, go and have a word with Rodri. Talk to him. Say, fucking hell, how do you do that? Or when you're on a position here, when you knock that ball off, where do you move to? He needs to be talking to him. The teammates, they need to be together. You know what I mean? There's no one helping Calvin out there. He's on his own. Yeah,
and if he is on his own, he needs to find it out for himself, man, because he won't have another year after this year. And we're all backing him. Hopefully he can do it. Like I say, it's a weird position, because he's, like I say, it's a difficult one, because City fans and Pep, everyone's going to be watching him very closely now. But he's not going to be playing every week. And like you say, I'm pretty sure he won't get a start in like a Premier League game for a couple of weeks minimum. Rodri will probably start, but so the first games that he'll be coming on, he'll only really be coming on if we're winning. And all he has to do, like you say, he'll be coming on for 20 minutes, and his job will just be shut everything down. You know what I mean? That's it. If someone's counter-attacking us, we look a little bit vulnerable, take him down, take a yellow card. well, what he wants to show, he wants to get on the ball and show his passing attributes. He can do that when he starts a match. For the last 20 minutes that he comes on, just do what Pep wants you to do, and that's not lose the ball when you have it and try and be clever with it. And that's what I always say about Rico Lewis and that when Rico Lewis was breaking through last season, Pep doesn't want to sit, and this is why Cole Palmer struggled last year a little bit. What Pep wants to see from you, he wants to be able to trust you. And this is what, going back to what you were saying, it's all about trust. So when he puts you on for 5 minutes, he doesn't want you, and this could, let's use Cole Palmer. He don't want Cole Palmer to go on there, dribble past 5 players and stick one in the top bins. I'm sure he'd love it if you did. What he wants to do, he wants to see you go on the pitch, use your brain, and just not lose the ball. Because then what he'll do is go, oh, the next game, when there's 10 minutes to go, he'll go, well, actually, last match, I put him on 5 minutes, didn't lose the ball, I put him on for 10 minutes. And then he goes again, 15, 20, 30, and it's building up that confidence. So that's what I think Calvin needs to do.
You look at Kovacic, yeah? Kovacic is perfect. He can do that Rodri role. He can zip that ball in Kovacic 100 mile an hour. He'll pop it off. He'll move. He knows when to rattle people. If he wants to get aggressive and put his foot in, he can. And he can pass the ball. He can get out of tight spaces. He can turn and twist and move and turn us out of tight spaces. He's not always a safe player. Whereas with Calvin, I think last season he was safe. The ball comes to his feet. He takes 2 touches. He's knocking it back when there's an opportunity to do it. He does it for England. Him and Rice. They both get the ball in midfield and they both go backwards or side. And sometimes you think just play through the middle. And I think with City, because he's not got that Declan Rice cover, he's even worse. I think that's why he plays it safe. But I think, I'm looking forward to seeing Calvin get involved. And like you say, I've spoke to him and he was such a humble guy. And you know when you just want to win, when you just wish someone well, you meet someone and you think, what a nice fella. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's hundreds of nice fellas out there. And I know football's a ruthless game, but he's got to step it up now and think, right, this is my season, no fucking about. And I think he'll do all right, me. I think he'll do all right.
Yeah, no, I agree. Guys, we are coming to the end of the show. 5 minutes to go before we wrap up. We're going to wrap up at 1:45 today. So if you've got any questions you want to get in, send a member chat, send a super chat, send a chat in the chat, and we'll get as many of them read out as we can in this final 5 minutes. But just as these questions are coming in, Steve, I mean, predictions. I mean, how do you see this season going? There's 7 trophies, I think, up for grabs this year. You got Community Shield, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Super Cup, and the Club World Cup. A lot of games, a lot of fixtures, a lot of trophies to be won. Is it just more of the same, just going again, or do you see like maybe a bit of a change in style, or how do you see it going?
I think he's going to stick with the centre backs at the back and the inverted fullback. I think we're going to be a lot more. I said it in the beginning of the stream, efficient. That's my word this year, efficient. I think we're just going to get the job done. I believe there's a lot of games we want to win them. I'm going out to Greece and Saudi Arabia, so I'm looking forward to that. And it's just more of the same. The fans have got to get behind the team again. We've got to make sure we don't let the south stand and the levels in the stadium drop. Last year was special, and it was special for a reason. We all got behind the team, the older, the new fans, the young fans. We all got together. We didn't fight. We even when it wasn't going well, we didn't have a go at each other. We kept it positive. And I think this team deserves our backing. Arsenal Charity Shield, we're going to be there. We'll back the team. We've sold it out. I know there's people done a boycott and stuff, which, listen, I respect it. You don't want to go and you donate into the food banks and you go into Band on the Wall, mint, that's great. If you go on Charity Shield, support the boys, that's great also. So I'm glad that we've come on a common ground and people are doing their own thing without judging. I respect it. And I just think it's going to be everybody else against us. We're going to get 115 charges. We're going to get, you've done this, you've cheated, you've done that. We're going to get all that shit. But we don't care. We're in our Man City bubble. We're ready to roll. We're backing our manager. We're backing our team. And let's just keep doing what we do. Going out there and winning fucking trophies. Keep doing that, pissing everybody off, having the time of our lives, and we'll be all right.
I know you touched on this before. Not really a question, but you can sort of phrase it as a question. No Gundogan. Kevin is going to be heavily relied on this year. I think Pep's going to rotate him more than he ever has before, isn't he? You know what I mean? But and goes back, man. This is why I'm saying, for me, I'm telling you, Phil Foden this year, it's a not a breakthrough. That's the wrong word to use, but like it's the year that he like properly steps into this and says, "I'm the guy here now." In my opinion, because Kev's not going to be able to do it all now. He's 32. He takes a few injuries. He's just had a pretty bad injury as it is, and Foden. It's time for Foden to step in. Big up to Martin, says justice for Alvarez on the right hand side. Martin's like the cheerleader for that group.
He is, yeah. I've seen him on a few streams mention that, to be fair.
He loves it. And SB says, looking forward to watching City again with City Extra, and the laughs in the chat. Well, there we go. We'll probably round it up there, guys. Did ask for questions, but not too many questions actually came in. So, you guys are slacking. Maybe you're all a bit rusty because the season's not on yet. Big up True Dogs as well. So, Steve, do you realise how much you've helped elevate our supporters' energy on social media? Your rising popularity is no coincidence. Best to you too. Big up to True Dogs.
No, big up for that. Listen, just a quick plug. I'm on TikTok now. I'm an old man and I'm on TikTok and I've got 17,000 followers in 3 days. So I must be doing something right. So get on at Big Steve MCFC on TikTok. I've rattled Arsenal fans today. I've just thrown a grenade at them. They're all smouldering away. So I'm doing my online psychological warfare thing. So I'll come up with something else. It won't be a shark this year. It'll be something else. But I'll think of something while the season's going.
There we go, man. Go follow Steve on the TikTok. Yeah, I forgot about the TikTok. Go follow him on the TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Big Steve MCFC. Big up, Steve, man. Thank you very much for coming on as always.
No problem.
We got the standard late super chat that always seems to come in whenever I do a stream these days. I swear these people do it on purpose. It says Goatmez Winger season. Yeah, not for me, mate.
I'm on as well. Just a quick one.
You want another?
Man City official channel tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. The lads will be doing live training in Tokyo. I'm going to be in the studio with Natalie Pike, and we'll be speaking to Jolie Lescott and Sean Wright Phillips. So I'll be bouncing from Manchester to Tokyo and back. So if you want to tune in, watch the boys training, get on Man City Match Day Live tomorrow.
Big up. Big up. Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel. Big up to the guys at Manscaped for sponsoring today's stream, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.
Thank you.